sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more home than a slice of this fine almanac.
Fresh haddock! Perfect for a fry-up!
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more home than a slice of this fine almanac.
A good day to you.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with...
You there! No, scratch that. Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, it's not merely an
Quite right. Adventure is what we live.
See here. You and I share. Too bad your line of work...
And I can't say that I have. I'm content.
Well, don't quarrel about it on my account. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside...
For the wheel of the good stuff.
I disagree. I, for one, am content with my station.
You disagree with one another. But that proves you are firm-willed. And that is exactly why I am here. Why, the fabulous five. You'd like nothing more than to enlist. What a gem of a question. Now then, to join the fabulous five is to join... Of course, should you spread the word, by now the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has... Work hard. Fulfill... Of course, of course, of course.
And me. May all the...
Marvelous. Magnificent. Who? Tom? Doesn't ring a bell. Oh, hold on. Yes, of course. They call the undead a problem, my friend. But those who know the ways of the fabulous five see no problem. Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town, one of them was a big lumbering apparatus. But you can guess what happened. Did it become... Luckily, there are those in this world...
Hello. I am the Duke of Ferrell. Yes, she and I have a history. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda, Jake and Esmeralda had no... It's very tragic news.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you west. Medora's the name. Retired. Or so the order... Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. See, I'm here on... Well, let's call it a loan. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Now, what they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with her. I came south seeking the Legion's help. Only to... By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villages. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. Without mines, more than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what... There's Mayor Cecil's doings, for one, and the man on top of it all. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the mayor's a decent sort, but from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy suspect an illegal sauce, artifact, or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what or who's giving it to him, I can't say. Fella seems like a humble doctor, But I bet a loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd see hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place.
Getting ourselves caught up in an entangling alliance will hit.
By the demon's tomb, I never thought I'd live to see a sauce hunter dismiss. Well, you're lucky we Northies have a certain expression. Better to do right the second time than never at all. I'll tell you. Hunter's greetings. So, have you changed your mind about venture? By the skin of my teeth, I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the sassy. Well, you know the old.
Getting ourselves caught up.
By the demons. Well, you're lucky. So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for
A source hunter? I'd like to report some dark magic. Been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. Seen every character you can. I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. Although that's the question, isn't it? I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman, lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back.
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, tall as an elf, strong as an orc, and my word, what I am Anna. Jewel in the... I've cut 1,000 throats, and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown jewels of the Queen of Arata, and when the day comes that I die, the gods... I contain multitudes, you see, and I am utterly replete. But then, source hunter, that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. I believe I have found that component, that body. Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away. So you've joined up. You've sworn to share in our... I can finally offer you our finest adventuring equipment at fantastic in... Well, you must be thrilled to find yourself a member of a team so widely renowned for its valor and skill. I hear you've been tasked with taking out that crazed robot in the Northern Cave. I'm sure you'd like to equip yourself... Oh, darling, that was so long ago now. Well, you are a member of the eminent Fabulous Five, after all.
Oh, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do, shout.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what exactly? Oh, you think you can speak that way to a... Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Mac.
I am a
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge? They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old. Providing you can afford it, I'll be happy to supply you with all the gear you'll need while swinging swords alongside the Fabulous Five.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what exactly? Oh, you think you can speak that way? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than Saffron's, I dare say.
So you're just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things? Providing you can afford it, I'll be happy to supply you with all the gear you'll need while swinging swords alongside the Fabulous Five.
Oh, my good man. Drink, you please.
Please do keep shouting.
So you're just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what, exactly? Oh, you think you can sneak that way? Well, suffice to say, I've got my eye on you, Jack. Oh, my good man. Drink, you please.
Please do keep shouting.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
Hanging around again.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize...
Pointless chatter with strangers does. How curious of you to show interest. So you've wrangled a position in the... You've been sent after Ahu's insane robot, I understand. Do you imagine that while you're busy being crushed by that abomin...
Blood me? You be... Yes, that is. Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out indeed.
Greetings, traveler. And may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings... What's in a name, dear friend? For we all be... You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what... Steel yourself, friend. For your mortal spirit... By following her instructions and becoming she came from on high to we more... She showed us that in... for this hallowed information. There, among her followers and friends, dwell... Go on the path to the right...
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
My bread!
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Soy seal, no, that's a...
I'm telling you, a necromancer must...
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
Oh, my good man. Drink, please.
Please do give a shout.
Good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting in my ear.
Good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting.
You'll be concerned enough to realize that before money won't be lining your pockets.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what?
The finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
A good day to you.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
some.
Spiritless. Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you. Heavenly Harry, delicious dogfish, red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies, sizes and green.
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And I have traveled more steadfast will I guard her. Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sice. And what questions are the tragedy flocks to this place? Like goblins to a boar carcass. None of proper soldiers shouldn't be ordered to fight such unnatural abominations. We used to cut them limb from limb by the...
Ma, lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed... I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much.
Well, what do you want to know? Can you tell this is the most ancient city in Andor?
Sometimes I forget they're even out there, to be honest. Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor...
So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the...
I meant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Melanie. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Infinity?
Source Hunter. I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory. Lieutenant Selenia, at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second-in-command. Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition, and even rivalry between our orders. But I, for one, have no intention of... And that is exactly what your presence in Sicil is. The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them were once kind and innocent civilians of Sicil. The bravest among my men and women tell me I shall be very glad to share what information I can. If ever we want to be victorious in Sicil, we have to track down the root of the undead uprising. Under the Pact of Volunteers, 3 expeditions were launched to do just that. But so far, 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have... There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. A local archaeologist offered to tag along with... There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated... All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first spotted. Hence the expedition.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face furious. She bit me in the face.
Everyone knows the ugly soldiers of the moon.
Ugly will be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I wish for you to try it, Screech woman.
The beast speaks? So you've half a brain behind that feral maw, have you? Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning.
That's a mighty big if. We can't have one of our team.
Can't say I'm surprised. You wouldn't want an untamed thing like that sleeping.
If I've got my say, we'll take her into the woods and put her down.
User joined your channel.
Hello?
Say, Source Hunter, do you reckon the vendor's got any
Or
large,
my computer can
rather
crash.
large,
That works too.
burlap sacks lying about? And where's the nearest river?
Well, that's to be decided.
After all, a fearless hunter might prove...
Well, that's a relief, ain't it?
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder.
I don't know what the
Don't
fuck's
turn
going
your
on.
back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Thinking virus. Negative.
Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention! About face!
I tell you, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Steam. Whatever the fuck this update is, it's just destroying itself.
That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
No one's Steam.
Sorry, sir. Source Hunter. I have heard tales both grand and in Home Forest. Every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I'm glad that now I have... Perhaps in time I will come to know my own kind as you have. And perhaps then I will...
About face!
Source Hunter. Welcome. Well, but certainly. What would you like to know? Oh, I am but a wizard, a guardian of man and beast, and my task upon this earth is to protect. You see, my one desire is to my great regret, none of them purr as yet. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent... But of course it's handy to speak in more... Oh, that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent if she'd enchant... I'm my own wizard, you know, and I don't intend to become... By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation... I can but piece together what few... They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inns. I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery. How and why he came to be there, no, I myself have none. Even though the rest... Now, it may well be established that she is in fact the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's innocent, but I can't say much more. And what might those be? Those who are raising the dead dwell among us. They simply must be. But even though I've spent many a night, the enemy is wily. One of them failed? Who is the mongrel that dares to question? You know what? Here's the remote access device with which I used to control it. There's a manual for that somewhere around here, too. You have a flair for understatements, Hunter. Until they conclude what mischief they intend to see through, or less like... Oh, a mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering skills of a human. You basically construct a classic ballista, add a 100% legally obtained, self-regenerating source of destructive magic to it, and Bobcat's your uncle.
Treasure!
What have we here? I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know. Gods above! Some politician snuff. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, what? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face you're all... Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight? We are the pride of Rivellon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the... I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're Yes, and he also spends most...
No talking to these scoundrels, criminal scum.
Excuse me, Grabby Gus. This is a Legion treasure room, and absolutely no non-Legionnaires are allowed in.
Know much about zombies? Greetings, these stores.
Come to see what delectable dish I've crafted. I'm Chef Maurice.
What can I do for you, Source Hunter? And so let the hunt
Greetings, Source Hunter. Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the captain is.
It's locked.
Can you hear me? I don't. This TeamSpeak is fucking up too, man. Like.
It's official. The Duke of Ferrell is the worst poet in Rivellon.
In his defense, not much rhymes with murder.
And so we meet another adulterous.
Greetings, Source Hunter.
Sin.
A Wolverine would have a more forgiving fuse.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information. Which one? I've written, Esmeralda, more works of lyrical mastery than I can count. All that letter proves is my devotion to my lady, not any actual intention. It's very tragic news. I won't...
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman bear.
A good day to you. The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're gonna accuse me of something, you had better— Oh, don't put stock in the hastily scribbled words of a lovelorn fool! This letter, it was a show of passion! A poorly worded passion I did not echo in the least.
Good luck with these safe.
Better to evacuate.
He never hit.
Source hunters here.
Better to evacuate.
Sorry, sir.
Steam is just being eaten alive. What the
Can you
fuck?
spare a coin?
It's just, it works for a second and then it's so slow that it tries to end the process and I hit cancel and it just sits there.
1 coin or 2, noble spirit?
TeamSpeak is
1
doing the
coin
same
or
thing
2?
sometimes.
Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. A fool once was
Nothing. I haven't done anything
never
different
seeking greater
that I don't
satisfaction
normally
than
do.
that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the council. I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fool. They told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced fire. The most thorough cleanser was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety. May the soul of Astarte smile upon you, kind stranger.
But the thing is that like right now I'm trying to uninstall Tom Clancy because it's trying to update it or some shit. I'm trying to get rid of it, and right now it's just sitting there.
Those
You want to delete it? Yeah.
statues
And then
told
it
him he'd
takes
have to renounce
forever.
his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader.
But it's not using any CPU. It's not using any RAM. It's not using any disk.
Right. I'm not going to throw my things on a pyre in the hope that the stench...
Attention! About face!
Ah, the source. Oh, still not finished. Well, have you found any incriminating evidence again? Like I said, the girl's known to be a flirt. But that sob of a feral doesn't have... Oh, if you must.
Sir, no, sir. Those books are in Barry's at Bridgestone. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Can you spare a coin?
Daemon Daemonium. I'll find you. More prey await.
Not here, not now. We'll be better off. You know the healer's clinic, don't you? Oh, what's his name? Theliron. Yes, behind Theliron's, he keeps a spare key right near the place in a pen guarded by a... Not here, not now. We'll be better off speaking in the... It won't be the worst. Not here, not now. It won't be the worst.
It's locked.
This batch is only hours from the sea.
How lovely to see you again, haver of the beautifully shaped shoulders.
Made a big cheese on your rock with a wheel of the good stuff.
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond left. Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Cheese, tomatoes.
Made a big cheese on your front with a wheel of the good stuff. Made a big cheese on your front with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Cheese, tomatoes.
I don't have the right tool
Hey,
for
Lies
digging.
Catherine. I know. I was great.
I'll thank you to leave me be.
The likes of which I doubt you could even fathom.
Felony. Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Hear that? Hear that?
When your wife.
Can you hear that ostrich?
Yeah, when your wife asks. She needs to do it now. The princess is on vacation.
That's my wife talking. What? My wife? She probably did. Did you do something on my computer to make it slow?
No, but I noticed it was acting weird.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Can't figure it out.
No, I was doing my business at school. And then I was like, talking, and it was like not opening.
Yeah, forever.
Open. I was restart it.
I don't know
What's the
going on.
bad news? More orcs ramp. This here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Sycit. Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the 3rd degree? Now, if you don't mind, I'm trying to run a...
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
He's hiding something.
You may be right. I suspect he has much more than mere skeletons hiding in his closets.
That inspiration hardly flowed.
My wife thinks my computer's just tired. The only thing my computer's tired of is your bullshit.
Hey, stop that! To leave the city is to venture into danger.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I... who's invention? These days, we Legionnaires hold a lot. Don't ask me how...
Source hunters here.
Better to evacuate.
to welcome you. The end for you!
An invigorating fight that was. And what a killing blow you delivered. No need for false modesty.
Back on my feet again.
Ah.
I feel quite dire.
Seven, aid me! Found it!
Back on my feet again.
Power stance!
Found it!
Into the fray once more.
How could that happen?
on your soul.
Seven, aid me.
This is the end for you!
I love a good Baltic birch. I love a good Baltic birch, you know?
I prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
Back on my feet again.
I feel better already.
I needed that.
Into the fray once more.
This must be part of the expedition Lieutenant Selenia was talking about.
Not much we can do for these sad souls. But where are the others?
never rains but it pours, eh?
Nimble as a fox!
Spirits of Rivellon, aid me.
Die, vermin!
Seven, aid me!
This is the end for you!
What'd you say? You don't think that's kind of unacceptable? I mean...
Sweet relief.
You really think that it's a good way to go through life? What'd you say? Uh-huh.
Into the fray once more. Ugh, I'm dripping.
Which one? One or two? guess a bloated felony. Is this what you feel like on your period? How was Kathy's pork chops? I look at her pictures and she's my Facebook wife.
Bless the chef, and I am restored!
Seven, call me home.
My kingdom for a dry shirt!
Chaos grips my hands today.
potent heat.
Seven, call me home.
Into the fray once more. Back on my feet again.
Bless the seven, I am restored.
User disconnected from the channel.
Buddy.
I feel better already. I needed that.